Well, friends of Mundo Maldini, here we are with Juan Revelles, as always, for another episode of Questions and Answers. How are you, Juan?
Hello, everyone. What's up, guys? How are we doing?
Well, you all know that, first of all, you have to send your questions here to preguntasmaldinimail.com with videos. It's also interesting because we put these videos in artificial intelligence in Arabic and English, and you can listen in Arabic, which is cool. They have it and also translate for those who ask. So send it there. You have to be members to appear on the channel and ask. You can send just the question if you're embarrassed, and if it embarrasses us, I'm also happy for it to happen. You can also send the video, as we will see some at some point. So go ahead. I don't know anything about the questions. I have no idea about anything.
On top of that, I'm sure there's a member whose friends or family tease them about their English accent. Well, you pass this question, you say, look, I appeared on Mundo Maldini asking in English, and you can definitely pull that off with your dad or mom. It's all advantages.
Come on, go ahead. Let's do this.
We start with Iñaki, who is one of the shy ones and leaves it written here in the member's email. Hello, Maldini. Congratulations on everything you are achieving. You are amazing. My question is if you think that Athletic, with the current squad and Duriz in his prime, could compete for the league. A big hug, 2010.
Well, the answer is that sure, it could happen. There have been more incredible things seen, but I see it. It's very difficult. I believe that Athletic Club has a very good team, even with Azuriz in his prime, as our friend mentions. But I honestly think it doesn't have what it takes to compete for the league. The league is just very difficult. In the end, look, Barca had a terrible season last year and finished second. In the end, there are so many matches when a superior team plays. Look, today on the Despejados program, which you must have seen I invite you to watch it. The program we released yesterday, Monday, we talked a bit about that topic, that teams are becoming increasingly different. There are more and more differences between the big teams and the not so big ones, and that is very noticeable. I think it seems very difficult to me, almost impossible. I'm not saying impossible, but almost, that we will see in the coming years a team that is not Madrid, Barca, or Atletico de Madrid winning the league, for example. It seems impossible to me.
It's difficult. Look, this question comes to us from the other side of the center.
Hello, Maldini. How are you? I wanted to talk to you about the Ecuador national team. How do you see them for the World Cup?
There you are. The Ecuador national team that is third in the World Cup qualifying standings.
Yes, they are third. Let's see. When you send us questions, elaborate a little, man. Tell me, hello, I'm Arturo from Guayaquil, and here I am in Ecuador. I'm a fan of Barcelona de Guayaquil. And so you can see him a little more, but, well, we know his name is Kevin from the email. Like my nutritionist, man. Kevin. Well, friend Kevin, I have a lot of faith in Ecuador. I believe they have very high-level players, starting with Caicedo, followed by Kendrick, from whom I expect a lot in the future. And I truly believe that they can be a team, an outsider to go very far in the World Cup. In fact, the match in which they eliminated Senegal in the last match of the group stage of the World Cup, I was at that match in Qatar, and I was very upset that they lost because I was really rooting for Ecuador. Have always liked the Ecuadorian national team a lot, and I believe it is growing a lot. Now, Felix Sanchez is no longer here, but still. Becacech was here in Elche for a long time.
Yes, he was also there because the coaches have a good eye. Yes.
And they have players in practically all positions. There is a player I like a lot named Minda. I also like him a lot.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, which, look, Martin could have sent for the comparisons we make. Martin Fernandez Revuelta asks us, a difficult question for you, Julio, Murici, or Budimir? And I like it because, as we always talk about stars, well, yes, see, it's difficult.
Murici or Budimir? Well, I'm going to stick with Murici slightly, only because he also works a lot. But yes, I've seen Murici in some matches with an incredible work rate, fighting with the center backs, touching the ball 3 times in the whole match, and being decisive. I really like that player. Look, there is an anecdote about Murici in a knockout round between Bayern and Lazio, where Bayern won the first leg 5-0. So in the return match, it was already meaningless. Bayern had won by a landslide in the first leg. I don't remember, but it was a scandalous result. And I commented on the return match on TV. I said, I'm going to comment on this match. But it's almost like you comment knowing that, well, and look, I saw this player and I liked him. It's not that I discovered him that day, but that day I said, well, this player can be very interesting. And I also think Lazio, but by 1 goal, I mean, he had a pretty solid match.
Lazio. He said that it was a bit difficult for him at Lazio because of the amount they paid for him. It impressed him a bit, right? But I prefer Budimir. I see him as more self-sufficient than good old Murici.
Possible? Yes. It's very even. It's very even, to be honest.
Let's go with the next question that Edu sends us from Barcelona. And look at what shirt.
Come on.
How's it going? I'm Edu. I'm from Barcelona. I'm also a sports journalist. Also like to talk a lot about football and the league, and I do it on my TikTok channel. Speaking about statistics, I wanted to ask you which is your ideal alternative 11 from La Liga. I'll leave you mine at the end of the video so we can compare and discuss it. Best regards. Bye 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 bye.
And here it is.
Let's see. Freeze it there. Making an 11 right now is very complicated. If you want, I'll do it for the next Q&A.
No, look, tell me. Who you would buy from this and who you wouldn't.
They're awesome, Billy. I definitely buy them. Awesome, Billy. All right, I like that. It's very good. Boyomo, Miguel Gutierrez, Mila, Samu Costa. Yes, it's quite well done. Luke, Baki, or Budimir Molero. I might put Muriqi in instead of Budimir. I also like Molero, maybe Kiria, starting to play from Las Palmas.
But for Dario Sugo, whom I included in this video about future stars, he might be missing Fabio Silva, for example.
Maybe Fabio Silva is indeed at a very high level, and between Fabio Silva and Budimir, or play with two forwards. He has included Neu from Leganés. Well, that's fine. He might also be missing Juan Cruz, maybe Juan Cruz instead of Luque Vacchio, but well, I'm biased towards Leganés, but let's go. And here you have his TikTok. Guys, since I've included it in the promo, I'll mention it too. There you have the TikTok below. Do it too. Use this to promote yourselves as well. I don't mind. So there you have Edu's TikTok.
Okay, let's go with the next question sent to us by Rodi, and it's also about the South American selection. What do you think of the new stadium that Bolivia uses in the qualifiers? Do you think FIFA should regulate the issue of altitude, or do you understand that each team seeks the advantage they want?
Well, for those who don't know, it's the stadium where Always Ready plays, which is even higher up. It's even higher. I believe it is the highest place where football is played at an international level for sure. Well, look, I think everyone has to take advantage of what they have. It seems to me that recently, for example, the US played a match. I think it was against Honduras in a game at 20-something below zero, for example, to the Hondurans, where some almost died there. So in the end, I think it doesn't seem so bad to me, honestly. It doesn't seem so bad. In the end, well, the altitude is for everyone. Is it true that some may be more accustomed, but there are many Bolivian players who also play abroad, and it wouldn't seem logical to me for FIFA to prevent playing there just because of altitude? I mean, nothing more. Right?
That the rivals are more uncomfortable.
But well, in the end, it's like if you go, of course, then you say, well, then Colombia takes the teams to play in Barranquilla, where there is tremendous humidity and it's unbearably hot. Here, everyone has to use it.
Barcelona under Guardiola would come and the Deportivo would say, well, it won't be watered. It won't be watered.
At halftime, those of you who are younger may not remember, but the famous microclimate that they often talked about from the hose has always been about watering the field a lot and flooding the field, arriving at the field and saying if it hasn't rained in 2 days, the field is flooded.
It was worse to play in Venezuela on January 1st against Argentina. In Maturin, with the field flooded, it was impossible to play.
Yes.
But well, let's go to the next one. Adri asks you, March 9th, June 6th, who is better, Leo, Nico Williams, Sos Eos, or the Georgian with the strange name from Napoli?
Referring to it, the three have had their moments. I would choose Leao out of the three, but acknowledging that Leao is sometimes a little inconsistent. But I believe that at the highest football level, Leao can deliver. But it is true that Nico Williams is quite consistent. Kvaratskhelia is now somewhat worse, but I would place the three very evenly, with Leao first and then Kvaratskhelia and Nico Williams practically tied.
Okay, look, the next question is from Pepe Lozano, who asked us a question that many people are asking.
Maldini, what solution would you give to Manchester City? Do you think they should fire Guardiola?
I might say the same again. Elaborate a little. Come on. Don't ask such short questions. Elaborate a bit. It's okay. And let's see. No, I don't think they should fire him, nor do I think they will fire him. I believe Guardiola has done so much for Manchester City that it's just a bad streak. It has a lot to do with some injuries. No, I don't think so. In fact, he just renewed and they are not going to fire him. And I neither think they will fire him, nor would I fire him.
Okay, and do you think the situation can be fixed with the current squad, or does he need to wait until January?
I think going to January can fix it. The Premier League is almost impossible to fix because there are already 11 points of advantage. It's very difficult. He has to aim to finish in the top 4, and if by chance the flute sounds and Liverpool has a tremendous drop, then get a little closer. But I think he will. And the champions, well, if he qualifies, he will qualify, even if it's in the playoff. Then it's two-legged, and he has the squad to fight until the end.
Now, when the group stage ends and he qualifies for the playoffs or finishes in the top 8, I see it as more difficult when you distribute percentages to favorites, not based on form or anything.
No, it won't be City. Right now, I don't know, but I think it would be Liverpool due to their form and Bayern. I believe the top 2, but then we'll see. When this league phase ends, we'll do percentages, and if people love all that.
Yes. Okay, let's go with the last one. Alvaro Toro, who sends us this question. Is Mbappe's match in the 2022 World Cup the best performance by a player in football history for you? For me, yes, given how poorly France was playing and how he almost won the final by himself.
Well, it's one of the great displays. Moreover, in a match like a final, I don't know. For example, if we talk about displays, I think Courtois in the Paris final. Speaking of displays and finals, in Paris, between Madrid and Liverpool was, at least for me, on the same level. But it is true that Mbappe had an impressive match, and in the end, he almost won the game. Was almost about to win the game.
Do you prefer that match of Mbappe or Maradona's against England, even though it wasn't a final?
No, Maradona against England, yes, because Maradona that day scored the best goal that has ever been scored in World Cup history. And it was England? It was, yes. I prefer it. It's true that I do more than the one with the hand, but I believe that goal will be remembered forever. And from Mbappe, the match he played is remembered, but not exactly the goals he scored. In fact, I believe one is from a penalty. There is one very good one that he hits down like this. I don't know if there are 2 from penalties. No, one is definitely from a penalty.
One for sure. And the other one you mentioned, I think it was on March 3rd, right? March 3rd, yes, when he hits it down there. Well, of course, what Maradona did that day, if Twitter had existed, it would have gone viral. And the other one with the hand, come on.
Well, imagine what it would have been like if we had a YouTube channel. So imagine what it would have been like, and well, you will say, it is what it is. Well, as for the questions, send us questions. I insist, send us questions and use us, as we said with this guy who mentioned, if you have a YouTube channel, say it, and we will mention it so that people can check it out. Well, Juan, next week, let's see if we have time to do another one during the week. We have another Champions League. I'm going to Dortmund on Wednesday to do the Dortmund-Barca. Let's see if we have this week. At the end of the week, let's see if people are, yes, for sure, get excited and send questions. All right, a hug, Juan.
A hug.
See you later. See you later, guys. Bye.